manager. King Von's manager was recently exposed by a YouTuber that goes by the name of KingAK47, and what happened is he basically came out and gave people information and directions on how to look up the Melly case. He gave all the people that was watching his live directions on how to find this document, which I did myself. And when you read what's in the document, it clearly states Jameson Francois bought Melly's phone to the office for them. So that's basically trading information. He is definitely a Fed, because why didn't he destroy the information instead of actually bringing it in? And that phone right now they are using against Melly, and they're saying that the evidence that they have on him is basically in that phone. So why didn't he destroy the evidence? And it just seemed weird that he bought the phone into them instead of them actually coming and get the phone. Thinking back of this audio that was released by KingAK47, their YouTube channel, of the quote Officer Francois that was there that night.
You didn't call him to him. 255 Trinity 50600. And what's your unit number again?
6855.
Then he did a follow-up live about it. He spoke about it again, and he showed proof that the manager responded and admitted to giving the phone to them. He basically said that the police knew he had the phone in his possession, so he had to give them the phone because they knew about it and stuff. But then KingAK47 is saying that, well, he's supposed to be this road guy. At the end of the day, he's a one shooter, so why is he giving in evidence instead of destroying it? And that's a bit weird. He has to be a Fed, no doubt about it. And that's what I'm saying. There's 90% chance that this guy is a Fed, and I generally felt like he traded information in the Melly case. And it's so crazy that KingAK47 literally came out and showed proof that he bought the phone into the office for them. And what's weird as well, something else happened. Apparently after that live video, no one could have found the document. So I think that's why the follow-up live was done as well, because no one could have found the document, and it kept saying oops, apparently you couldn't find the website and stuff. So they are saying that the manager called up these people and basically had the document removed, and then all of a sudden it was back up on that website, and then the manager was in the comments responding to someone. So that as well is weird. The fact that he can call the website and actually have them, you know, do stuff like that, it just seems more suspect, to be honest with you. Like, what is going on? There is something weird with this guy. What happened is now he basically responded on his Instagram, on his business page, and I felt like addressing it now is a bit weird, because we saw Von got, then you didn't say anything about when everyone was saying that he shot Von in the leg. It actually looks like what it is and what people are seeing. No one is blind. And then he addressed all the other stuff about handing him the keys and everything. All of that stuff he addressed right now, but he didn't address it when that happened. Why was that? Why didn't he address it then? Because what's happening now is there is solid proof. This document of him trading information to the Fed, KingAK47 called him out, and there is proof of him trading information. He bought the phone into the police hands. He bought the phone into the office. They didn't go and get the phone from him. And I could understand where he's trying to defend himself and basically, you know, think about it. He's got a business, obviously, but then at the same time, he acts like, you know, he's with the guy, he's with these boys and stuff, and he's like one of them. But he's not. He's managing them. He doesn't do a professional job, and this is why this is happening. Because if he did a professional job, he wouldn't have been caught up in all of this, and that's why something about this guy is weird. KingAK47 is breaking down this guy, and you should go check him out, because something about the manager is weird. He is basically now trying to defend himself and trying to, you know, kind of cover up the fact that he traded information, but he's already been caught out, because that is a official website. And people were like, do you think Melly even knows that he gave them the phone and stuff? But then, to be honest with you, what he said kind of makes sense, because he was saying that, well, when Melly handed himself in, he had his phone to handle business and stuff, obviously the usual artist stuff, I would assume. And that's where they know that he had the phone, so he had to hand it into them. But then KingAK47 is saying that no, he didn't have to do that. He could have destroyed that, because that's basically a form of snitching. So he could have destroyed that phone and actually take the bid, which is only like probably a 4 months or something. That's what it's basically saying of tampering with it. It's not like, you know, like a huge crime of actually the person who actually did the stuff. So I understand where this is coming from, but then again, this guy, I mean, he has a business, right? So you got to think of, you know, at the time he was probably managing Vaughn as well and other artists. So it does make sense why I think he would actually hand in the phone. But then when you look into the case a bit more, they're saying that the manager transported Melly. So this is actually crazy, and people are actually saying that the manager was there with Melly and stuff, and he transported him and everything, so he knows what was going on and stuff. And instead of deleting stuff, you know, he chose to go and give it to them instead of them coming for it. And he's saying that, oh, they know that he had it, they had a warrant out for it, so he was forced to give up this evidence. The manager is claiming on this Instagram he was forced to give up this evidence. And another thing as well, quick to run to the media and all of that, and here he goes again talking about he's not in the media and all of it, and he hasn't got any pictures like he's been saying and stuff like that. Like, just loads of lies. You know, he's not worried about being in the media and stuff, but they did try to deport him. He wants us to know that they did try to deport him. And what do I feel about them trying to deport him? To be honest with you, I feel like that's one of like the biggest excuse that he can use, because that's such like a very serious thing as well. You know, like what they did to 21 Savage, right, when they went around and they all tried to deport him, and then all the memes and stuff. So I feel like, because I've heard this before in the 21 Savage situation and see how much like traction it caused and everything, I can't help but think it's kind of like a repeat. And then thinking of 21 Savage being linked to the case on the hard drive, and he got a song of Kayla and stuff and all of this madness. I think he is trying to cover it up, to be honest with you, and he decided to put out that they tried to deport him. Like, I mean, you know, if it's true, well, even if it's true, like, everything should be on point, and as long as you're not doing anything wrong, then there is no reason they should even attempt to do stuff like that, unless you were caught up in some madness and there is actual evidence of you doing some messy, you know, crazy stuff and all the stuff and laundering and everything and all of that madness. Then they have a right to actually send those people for you. But if you didn't have your stuff right and all of that from the start, and it's been, you know, a bit of a weird stuff, that's when these people would actually be involved. So him using that excuse was like, oh, they tried to deport me. When exactly they tried to deport you? Are you talking about now? Are you talking about back in 2012? I feel like he's talking about a long time ago and he's using this excuse now. Or that's what they probably advised him to do, because, you know, of the impact that makes as well. I sat down and I thought about it for a hot minute, and I'm like, why would this guy be responding to allegations on his wedding when he's supposed to be honeymooning and that and stuff like that? Why would he even care about this? Because when people actually find out something that you can't deny, all of that stuff about Vaughn did this now, and obviously the camera was blurry and everything, you know, so we couldn't really see what he had in his hands. We couldn't really identify it. But now this document states clearly more than one time the manager's name in that document, all over the case, all over the document. So he can't deny it. And the fact that this is an official website, a special government website, and it says clearly that he brought the phone into the office, that's what got him, because he knows that's true and the truth hurts, and that's why he's speaking out now and responding to this long paragraph. I don't believe about they're trying to deport him and that, to be honest with you. I feel like even if that happened, it could have been something that probably happened time ago, and that don't just happen, because if you have your stuff right and nothing ain't going on when it comes to that kind of things, then it won't happen. And so I feel like this is just an excuse to get people off of it that's reporting about it and stuff, because his name is in that document more than one time, and they've said that they are suing him and Melly, but him because he transported Melly in the situation and he had a role to play in it. And the family of the two guys who it happened to feels like the manager had a very important role to play in that incident that happened in the Melly case.
Stop that. Man, we'll track it. Oh, yo.